huge news for silver stackers. Bank of America is now predicting that silver will hit $40 an ounce by the end of this year. Is it possible that we are on the verge of a spectacular rally in silver? Well, apparently there is an indicator that is screaming silver is undervalued. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. Now, before we look at the Bank of America silver price prediction, first I want to look at a prediction by the CEO of the Scottsdale Mint. He made it right here on my YouTube channel just a few days ago.
I'm thinking low 40s. Gold is the driver, at least at the moment, and silver's kind of being dragged along. Most of the excitement's right around the monetary metal right now, but I think we could see some excitement on silver at some point here.
There you go. $40 silver is definitely possible this year, but why would the metal go that high? Well, according to Blanche at Bank of America, we are looking at $40 per ounce, he said. We think silver is one of the better investments because remember, silver is half precious, half industrial. The precious aspect of silver has been driving it higher. The industrial side has been taking a back seat, but this will eventually change. Of course, tariffs mean weaker trade conditions, and we had a pretty strong trade window between the fourth quarter of last year and the first quarter of this year, where investors were buying in anticipation of tariffs. Now we have the tariffs, so we're going to go into a slower period which will last for a quarter or two, and eventually we will see another pickup in industrial activity. So basically he's saying when industry starts taking off again, we're really going to see silver explode. And one of the main things he talks about is silver being used in solar panels. He mentions silver is the best electrical conductor in the world, so it makes sense that when industry starts taking off again, it will pull silver higher. This article over on Seeking Alpha says silver prices, a pause before a spectacular rally. They say that silver is undervalued compared to gold and the stock market, offering significant upside potential for patient investors. They also say that silver's volatility means it reacts strongly to both positive and negative economic news, but likely benefits from upcoming Fed easing. That's right, when the Fed starts easing, this is super bullish for both gold and silver.
We're ending quantitative tightening. We're right at that inflection point. We're going to switch back to quantitative easing again. I think when that happens that's when the retail market wakes up, and when that money, the banks start lending, companies have more capital, stuff starts slushing. So this is when they start chasing some of the best assets. So I think this is going to be very interesting, because that's essentially what the central banks are doing right now. So they're printing their fiat, and then they're adding the physical gold as they go. And some of them are doing it every month. So it's an interesting dynamic to watch when the retail wakes up.
According to the CME Group FedWatch tool, we're probably not going to see any rate cuts at the upcoming meeting on June 18th. However, if we fast forward to September, they're saying that there's a 30.6% chance that rates will remain the same. So about a 70% chance that rates will be coming down at the end of summer. So this is just right around the corner. So what is the indicator that says silver is undervalued, and why hasn't it caught up to gold yet? You ready for this? It is the gold-silver ratio. They write, while gold and silver prices have been volatile in recent weeks, the price ratio between the two, the number of ounces of silver needed to buy 1 ounce of gold, has held relatively steady recently at a key level at or near 100. They mentioned that the ratio averaged 84.8 from 2023 to 2024, and we're actually going to plug that number in to see where silver would go if the ratio dips back to that level. But first, look at this quote here. Silver is a major bargain for those with a medium to long-term investment horizon. I could not agree more. Looking at the ratio, silver is very much undervalued as compared to gold. Let's see what happens to the price of silver when we move this ratio around. You can see it sitting right at 100 to 1. So let's go back to the average that we saw from 2023 to 2024. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug in the price of gold. So gold's at 32.84. We're going to divide that by the 84.8. That was the average ratio. And we get a number $38.72 for 1 ounce of silver. And with silver sitting at about $33 an ounce right now, you can see that is a big jump up. But we could do even better. Let's look at the average ratio since the 1970s when the US went fully off of the gold standard. That's an average of 65 to 1. So again, we're going to put in the price of gold, 32.84. We're going to divide that by 65, and you get $50 silver. That's right. We could see silver hit $50 if we go back to the average that we saw since the 1970s. Now, up until this point, we've been talking about the price per ounce go up, but what about the mining side? So the GDX is actually up 42% this year. The GDXJ, or the junior miners, up 44%. Meanwhile, the NASDAQ 100 is basically flat for the year. It's up 1.26%. So on the mining side of things, it's starting to heat up as well. And that's why I can't think of a better time to talk about a pure silver play, a mining company that focuses primarily on silver. I don't talk about them a lot because there's not a lot of them out there, but this one, Argenta Silver, is the sponsor of today's video, and you're going to want to hear their business model. Let's look at some of the people investing in Argenta Silver. One of Argentina's most prominent businessmen, Mr. Eduardo Elstein, with a track record in mining, just invested $5 million Canadian in Argenta Silver, ticker symbol AGAGF, and with billionaire mining magnate Frank Giustra calling this project a vehicle to fulfill a 40-year dream of his to scale a pure play silver company, I'm featuring it to you. Now, Eduardo Elstein said, "I'm excited to join Argenta as a shareholder. I look forward to supporting both Argenta's growth with this exceptional project and the country's outstanding future." And here's the quote from Frank Giustra: "For 40 years, I've dreamed of building a pure silver company in Latin America. Exceptional pure silver assets are incredibly rare, and when the El Cavor opportunity presented itself, I knew instantly this is it. We have a clear vision to scale this to a much larger company." So he actually recently increased his ownership stake in Argenta to 13.5% following the purchase of 2.5 million common shares of the company in the open market. You could see the shares he's bought so far in 2025, and here's what he said about it. "My decision to increase my holdings in Argenta reflects my strong belief in the company's vision to unlock the value of high potential silver assets and its disciplined approach to exploration." Argenta owns 100% of the El Cavor project located in Salta, Argentina. The project hosts an indicated resource of 45.3 million ounces of silver and an inferred resource of 4.1 million ounces of silver, making it one of Argentina's top 3 undeveloped silver deposits. Argenta Silver's market cap is right around $41 million, and they have about $7.8 million in working capital. The acquisition of the project was done at a fraction of value, with a $3.5 million acquisition cost against over an estimated 60 million Canadian in historical investment by the previous owners, including 100,000 meters of drilling. Listen to that one more time. The El Cavor project was acquired for $3.5 million US after the previous owners already discovered the third largest undeveloped pure silver resource in Argentina and spent 60 million Canadian dollars historically. Do your own homework on Argenta Silver. Argenta Silver, ticker symbol AGAGF, owns a pre-play silver project in Argentina. Research Argenta Silver today. I do want to say a big thank you to Argenta Silver for sponsoring this video and help making it possible. If you want to do some research on them for yourself, I will put a link down below in the description. And as always, if you're investing in gold or silver miners, it can be more risky than just buying the physical metal. metal, but it can have more upside potential as well. So always do your own due diligence, do your own research before making any investments. And I'll end with this. We're looking at the gold silver ratio. It is at 100 to 1. It is historically high right now. I think silver is a better buy than gold, which is why I am stacking primarily silver. In fact, I even traded some gold for silver recently. If you want to watch that video, feel free to check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.